If your business isn't where you want it to be, I can guarantee you it's because of your habits. It's either everything that you're doing or everything that you're not doing every single day. If you want to change your results, you need to change your habits. Let's talk about how to fix that today. All right, Todd Falcone here. Welcome back to another episode. So let's talk about your habits, okay? Your business didn't just end up where it is today. Like if you're not happy with where the business is, didn't just poof ended up that way. Now, okay, I'll give you an exception. Your company is a dog. Your company's making completely poor, rash decisions, and across the board, everywhere in the company, the whole thing fell apart. Now, that's that's possibly one example, but the reality is that it's because of the habits that you have put into place every day or the habits that you haven't put into place every day. So if you're prospecting every single day, that means you're probably seeing growth. If your pipeline is completely full of prospects that are going through the process, probably a good chance that your business is booming. If your calendar is filled with lots and lots of follow-ups, that means things are moving forward. That means you're doing the right kinds of habits each and every day. But if you're sitting there and you're looking at your calendar, I'm like, wow, my calendar is, I'm actually looking at my calendar right now. My calendar is completely blank. And then I'm wondering, how come my business isn't working? Now, I'm looking at my calendar. It doesn't happen to be blank. It's actually quite full. But if you're looking at your calendar and there's nothing in the calendar, that's probably a good reason why your business isn't growing, because you're not putting in the right habits each and every day. And it's like, how did Jim Rohn say it? It's like, what is it? Simple. What is it? I'm going to forget it. And of course I never script these things. So simple errors in judgment repeated over. One of you guys in the comments, maybe you can quote Jim Rohn for me. So it's simple daily disciplines. I don't know. You guys, you probably know where I'm going, but it's actually a really good quote. I probably should have thought of that. But when I start doing these things, I never script them, and I have a point that I'm talking about, and then I get after it. And sometimes I think of a quote and that quote isn't coming out of my head. So here's the thing. If you're repeating the same bad habits every single day, where are you going to end up? Okay. So let's say you're a smoker. Well, if you smoke every day for 25 years, that's clearly a bad habit. And then are you surprised when you got COPD and you can't breathe? You shouldn't be surprised, because you knew that those were not really good habits, quite frankly, bad habits that were going to lead you someplace that you didn't want to go. But on the other hand, if your habit is, okay, let's take a different example. If you get up every day and you go to the gym, you go for a 3-mile walk, 3-mile run, you hit the gym a few days a week, and you look at yourself in the mirror, and you also have good eating habits, then you're not going to be really surprised when you look great to yourself in the mirror. So it works either direction. So it's your habits, good or bad, that are causing your business to either grow or not. And seriously, you can't be surprised if 2 years into your network marketing business, things aren't going so well. So, here's the harsh truth. I mean, your habits are going to be make or breaks for your business. Number one, I already mentioned this, but take a look at your calendar. Is your calendar full? Because your business is going to be a reflection of what's in your calendar. I've spent hours and hours scrolling on social media. I've got, my calendar is empty. Okay. You're spending more time getting ready to get ready, or I'm not going to show you my calendar, do a screenshot, but my calendar is full. And not every single day is it full from beginning to end, but if I look at my calendar, you can tell stuff's getting done. And honestly, I don't think your calendar lies. I can look at somebody's calendar. I could look at if you had one of these, I could look at your prospecting logbook, and I could tell you this is exactly why your business is growing or not growing. So it's about shifting your habits. If you want to be in a different place, then you've got to change whatever it is that's leading you down the wrong path. That's got to change. For me, I mentioned this in a previous video. with regard to my personal health. And I actually just got my blood work back, which was awesome. I had a Zoom whatever you call it. I guess it's a Zoom doc, not a teledoc. I guess it's a Zoom doc. So I had a Zoom doc appointment. Now I've lost pretty much 50 pounds since May of last year. And I got blood work done, and it really didn't surprise me. I was elated actually. Like my cholesterol was great. My like everything was good. My triglycerides were much lower. Everything was great. It's because, and I don't snore anymore. I don't use a CPAP anymore. I'm not on blood pressure medications anymore. And it doesn't surprise me. But if I was eating and drinking and eating and overeating, and it's like, why would I be surprised if I go there and like my cholesterol is 300 and, I've got a high A1C, that I'm pre-diabetic. And that was one thing that scared the crap out of me, because I was like looking at my A1C creeping up. I'm like, there's no way I'm giving myself diabetes. Like type 2 diabetes, you don't just get, you give it to yourself. And I was like, there's no way. That was another thought in my mind, which made me change my habits. In my case, it was, to stop drinking, which the stopping of drinking is what led me to eat less. Number two is like the small decisions that, and this goes back to like the Jim Rohn quote, which I'm not going to figure out. It's these small daily disciplines, these small daily habits. Over time, they add up. So what are your daily habits? Like look at your calendar. Your calendar is your business is going to be a reflection of your calendar. If your calendar is completely empty, you can't sit there and complain about how your business isn't going. If your prospecting pipeline is empty, you can't be sitting there complaining about like my business isn't working. What's wrong? What's wrong is you're not disciplined. I said that in a previous video. You don't have the discipline to step up to the plate and do the things that are going to fill up your calendar. And your calendar is going to be a reflection of it. And those simple daily habits repeated over and over again are either going to lead you to a really beautiful place, or it's going to lead you to a place that when you arrive, that not good place, you shouldn't be surprised. So every day you're either reinforcing good habits or you're reinforcing bad ones. So for example, and I know I talk about this a lot, you guys, but it's just where the rubber meets the road. Like if you skip one day of prospecting, you might not think it's a big deal, but one day leads to 2, and 2 days leads to a week, and a week leads to a month. And before you know it, your check has vanished, or you start to flake on the follow-up. And you just kind of, at first you were like on top of it, and then you're following up 5 days later rather than the next afternoon or right after they looked at the information. And you're avoiding, the idea of rejection. So you never have to, it's like you never face the experience. You never have a chance to have the experience that you could have if you got back to that person. The avoidance, and people do this all the time, that's like avoidance procedure. They either avoid prospecting completely, or this drives me crazy. It's like they'll reach out to somebody, do an invite, and then they never get back to them because they don't want to hear what the prospect has to say. And the more you do that, that'll lead to, now I'm not even going to do the invite. Now I'm just going to sit. Now I'm just going to be the student that never does. So it's really important that, again, your calendar, look at your calendar. Number 2, it's like these daily disciplines, these daily habits. That's why I don't really believe that regardless of where your check is, you should never have a day that passes where you spend any time in your business. You spend 10 minutes on your business today, you got to do at least one reach out. Like today, for example, for me, today's a very, very heavy video production day. Okay. I'm probably, by the time the day is said and done, I will have produced at least 8 videos. And that's a pretty decent day, like 8 15-minute videos. And in spite of that, in between some of these videos, and you might notice the previous video and maybe the next one, I'm in the same shirt because I'm doing all these videos on one day. Not like I'm wearing the same shirt every single week, even though they might be released every few days or something. So even then, and actually right before me pressing the record button on this particular video, guess what? I did 3 different text messages. In fact, I just got a text message from my friend Michelle, who is down in Cabo. So we're not going to connect today on the phone because she's at the pool. But even on crazy busy days, because I've given myself, I've learned to be disciplined, and I know that I've got to have and maintain good daily habits, that I could just let a full video production day go and then editing or whatever. And then I'm not, now it's been a week since I've talked to anybody. So the other thing is, you have to understand something. Even though I speak full-time professionally and train for network marketing companies, that doesn't mean that I don't do the exact same things that I'm teaching you to do. Okay. So I still prospect daily to get me booked on conference calls, Zooms, Super Saturdays, regionals, national conferences. I do that regularly. Now, I wish, just like you did, I wish I could just sit here and my business would grow all on its own. And even as a 36-year guy in the business, well known for what I do, I still got to drum up the business. Now, yeah, I get, phone calls, emails from people requesting information about hiring me as a speaker, but that doesn't fill my calendar. Oh, interestingly enough, goes right back to the calendar. So for me to fill my calendar, I've got to fill it. And that fill it is by daily disciplines of the right activity over and over again. So look at your calendar. Look at what are the little things that you do every day, or the little disciplines, the little habits that you have every single day. Are they leading you in the right direction, or are they leading you someplace you don't want to go? Let me say this. Okay. High achievers, they don't wing it. They don't just show up in the morning and they're like, okay, what am I going to do today? Show up at the desk and what's my plan today? I guess we'll just let it unfold. Okay. High achievers, they track their numbers. I don't know. I don't want to make any assumptions. This might be your first exposure to me. I have no idea, but I will show you. In fact, this is on my desk at all times. I track my numbers. So this is the thing that I created for myself. That's the front cover of it. I don't even know if we're selling this anymore. I like them. I use them. I literally track, and I'm going to show you a blank sheet, every single bit of revenue producing activity. So I track my numbers. This is a way to hold me accountable. So if I'm wondering, Todd, how come I don't have any speaking gigs booked? How come I'm not training for any network marketing organizations this next 4 weeks? I just look here, and this is a telltale sign. And as a network marketer in the field, building a business, you should most certainly not be getting up and just winging it. What am I going to do? You should know the night before, who am I talking to tomorrow? What's my plan tomorrow, so that when you wake up tomorrow morning, you're not bumbling around trying to figure out what you're going to do. You already know what you're going to do, and then you go do it. And that's another habit. It's like the habit of like planning. Like I will look, so it doesn't matter what today is. It ends in Y. So tomorrow, which also ends in Y, I already know what I'm going to do tomorrow, but I will make a peek at my calendar tonight. Okay, what is on the docket for tomorrow? What's happening tomorrow? So I have, like this morning, I had a 6:45 a.m. Zoom. You guys already know that lately I've been getting up at 3:45 in the morning, but normally my wake-up call, it's not even a wake-up call. I normally wake up at 5:20, go to a 6 a.m. yoga class. But now I'm getting up extra early. If I didn't look at my calendar and I decided to go skiing and just left the house, didn't even bother to look at my calendar, I would have ended up missing multiple appointments today. Oh, and then to be the known as the flaky person that booked these multiple meetings and then didn't even bother to put into play the simple habit of just taking a quick peek at my calendar. What's happening tomorrow morning? And I've done this where I'm like, oh, snow's flying and I want to ski tomorrow morning. And then I look at the calendar. I'm like, oh, I'm not skiing tomorrow morning. Or if I really want to ski because it's that good and I can move those appointments, then I move them ahead of time, but I'll never pull a no-show. Again, a little basic habit. So for some people, getting into this ritual, this daily routine, people ask me all the time, what's your DMO, your daily method of operation? Developing entrepreneurial habits are far different than employee habits. Because again, let's say you work 8 to 5. You don't roll in probably at 9:45 and you don't leave at 2. And while you're there, I mean, you might be getting away with this, I don't know, but you're not just sitting at the desk playing, I don't even know what they play on their, I got a big computer screen, I don't know. Candy Crush, that's the last thing I can remember. You're not sitting there playing Candy Crush. You have the responsibility of getting done whatever's required of you. So you can get like a good boss is not going to let you. I mean, it is a good boss, a boss that holds you accountable. That goes, hey, you're coming in at 9:45. That's 3 days in a row, 9:45. If you do it tomorrow, you're not going to have a job. You show up the next day, even if you don't like what you're doing. So there's a degree of accountability. There's a degree of people kind of forcing you to do things, even though you may not want to do it, which is kind of fascinating because what's crazy to me is people will show up. You know, most people that are involved in network marketing are part-time, you know, and that's normal. Like most people start this business in addition to what they're doing in their daily job. I don't recommend anybody to quit your day job until you've like proved that you can make money in network marketing. And, you know, they'll go to work all day. And I'm not saying either, as I get into this, I'm not saying everybody hates their job. And that's most certainly not the case. But let's say you do. And you come home every night and you're like, I need to vent. I need to talk about, you know, this, blah, blah. Let me tell you what happened at work today. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like every day you come home and clearly you don't like what you do. But why the heck is it? It's so fascinating to me. You get up and you go back the very next day. You're like there at the time that is expected of you. You're there at 8 o'clock the next morning. Why? Why? Because the consequence of you not showing up is so immediate and dire that you'll show up for something that you complain about every day. Why? Because I'm not going to be able to pay the bills. I'm not going to be able to make the house payment. I'm not going to be able to put the kids in college. I'm not going to be able to, like, we're going to be SOL. We're going to be out of luck. Okay. So even though you don't like it, even though you complain to your friends at the bar, to your spouse, to whatever, you still show up every single day because there is a dynamic there that holds you accountable. Yet here you got this network marketing business that could, quite frankly, if you executed the right habits, had the right discipline, could change the direction of your life for good. Okay. But then you're like, well, I'm not really making that much money yet. So what's another day of me having bad habits? What's another day of me not filling my calendar? Oh, it's like I'm only making $200 a month, or I'm making nothing, or it's only $500 a month, whatever it is. And so then you just keep blowing it off and blowing it off. And then even like, you know, even snowballing the bad habits because you're sitting there telling yourself and justifying to yourself, oh, what's the big deal? Because the consequences are not like immediate, like, okay, immediate, dire, I'm losing my job. I won't be able to make the house payment next month because we're living paycheck to paycheck. And you sit there and justify it. But instead, what you should do is you should be looking at this and going, I'm not losing out on a linear day of wages. I'm losing out on the compound effect of my efforts over time. And if you just took the time to fully understand compound interest or the compounding effect, then you would never blow it off. You would be disciplined. You would be accountable. But the problem is there's nobody there to hold you accountable. You don't have a boss. Your sponsor's not your boss. It's exactly why years ago when I was in the field, I created accountabilities for my team because there was always people that wanted to, but they couldn't figure out how to get to it because there was nobody there that was going to make them get to it. It's why you hire a personal fitness trainer because you can't do it on your own. Right? Or it's why you go to a group fitness class, because if like during that thing where we couldn't leave the house for a couple of years, I was trying to do yoga out here on my landing and I couldn't, I didn't push myself hard enough because I was not in yoga class. That's exactly why I created an accountability program called A-Team. We're starting very, very soon. If you've been plugged into me for a while, you keep getting these videos, I keep talking about it. And if you're still not doing what you know you want to do, why haven't you registered? I mean, if you've registered, I can't wait to see you. It's going to be a blast. You're going to be pushed to do more. You're going to be encouraged to do more. You'll be coached to do more. You'll have more confidence. You'll have greater clarity. You'll be on fire about your business once again. If, for example, you've lost the fire, you'll be getting yourself back into or maybe starting to do the right activities each and every day. All these things that I've been talking about, if you've been plugged into this, I don't know, last few weeks of these videos, but it's happening soon. And all the details on it are right below me. If you're on my YouTube channel, you'll see it right below. If you're on my website, that's where it's at. If you happen to be listening to me on audio, just come on over to toddfalcone.com/team, TEAM. You can see all the details of A-Team. And we are nearly sold out for this thing. So, I mean, who knows? If you wait any longer, you might come to the page and the page says, we're sold out and you're on a waiting list. Why would you want to wait any longer? It's like, why, if you know you're not, if you know you don't have the daily habits, if you know you don't have the daily discipline, if you know you're like, dude, I can't figure out why I keep wanting to step up to the plate and then I run away. You can't run away from this thing. Okay. So the other thing I'll tell you is only come and do A-Team if you are ready to take action. If you're ready to get it done. This is not for the people that are like, I'm not sure. Okay. Because it is a coaching and accountability program. You will be held accountable, okay? And I realize that might be scary, but like, what's scarier, running out of money and having to leave network marketing and say I failed network marketing? That's foolishness. You shouldn't have to fail in network marketing. The people that fail in network marketing, honestly, are the ones that just simply don't do the work. I can teach you and help you to adopt the right kinds of habits, to have the daily disciplines that will help you achieve success. I haven't had a job in 36 years. You might wonder, like, how the hell did this guy do it? No job for 36 years. I'd love to, I mean, nothing wrong with jobs, but nothing would make me happier than to help you not have a job. Okay? Come do A-Team. Click the link below, get yourself registered, and I'll see you when we begin.